And we're live. What's going on, guys? I know it's not Sunday. That's when I usually do this, but I made a special exception today because I have a guest I was really looking forward to get on. Joining me, if you guys have paid attention to the beard world, you've seen a million posts with his song, the Marty Ray Project himself. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's an honor to have you on, sir. And I thank you for getting back to me. Seriously, when I sent the message, I was like, is he even going to answer me? I wasn't sure, but I appreciate it, man. I really do.
I ain't famous enough not to get back with people.
So, for anybody in here who might not know, this gentleman right here is a singer songwriter. He does cover music at times. You might have seen him do the Ice Ice Baby thing, which I thought was absolutely great when I saw that one. The way you switched up vanilla style into your own thing, very creative and cool to do. But he's also got some amazing songs like Mistakes is out there, Miss You Like Crazy, Outlaw, all great songs that he's done. How did you get into the music thing? Like, I know everybody's got their start somewhere when you were a kid, whatever it might have been. Where'd you get your start?
Start as far as
The first
involvement
time that
in
you were,
music or
yeah.
professionally.
No. Just the first time you started singing, pretty much, when you realized,
I came out of the womb singing.
yeah.
Yeah. I just came out singing. So God just allowed me, gave me the gift to sing. I don't know if I do it right. So I never learned, never took lessons, just always could do it.
That's awesome, man. No, I mean, if that's something you can do, I can't do it. I'm terrible at it, dude. I tried.
Let's hear
No. Because they're
it.
all going to click off the channel. It'll be really bad. They're all going to run. I'm going to save
we don't
everybody from that.
we don't want them to run.
No, they'll all run, man. I remember I thought I was going to be a singer when I was younger. I really did. And then my dad heard me the one time practicing in my room. He opened the door. He said, "How do you feel about like playing football or something else? Because this this might not be the road for you, son." I asked,
Dang,
oh,
they said kind of a similar thing to me actually. Believe it or not.
really?
Yeah, people tell me my whole life that I couldn't sing and I should probably look into doing something else.
I find that amazing. I absolutely love your style. I really do.
I appreciate that, man. Everybody out there that listens to me, it means the world to me.
What are some of your favorite bands or favorite musicians to listen to, whatever it might be?
I love Mahalia Jackson. She's a gospel singer.
Yes.
Rance Allen, Al Green, BB King, Charlie Daniels, Leonard Skinner, Elvis. Who else? Ray Charles. Just trying to name off the ones that come to my head here. There's a
It's kind
lot
of,
of them. You know what I'm saying? There's a
yeah.
lot of. I like 21 Pilots too. I like a lot of their stuff, especially on that one record.
It sounds like you're a lot like me. Like your tastes are a little bit all over the place. You like a little bit of everything at times.
I do. I like a lot of everything, but I think I stay mainly in that. If it's got a little soul in it, I really love that. But I do. I like country too. But country is kind of country's kind of a mixture of everything now. It seems like so.
Right.
I guess saying you like country is today is just means you like a lot of different music.
Right. I know what you mean because the country, my aunt growing up was a huge, huge country fan, and it's way different today to what she listened to back with like Reba. I know Reba McEntire was a huge thing for her growing up when I was growing up. She loved Reba.
My mom loved Reba. We always listen to Reba in my house.
um what was I'm sorry, one second here. My phone is going crazy because my daughter's trying to get a hold of me.
Uh oh.
No, she just wants chocolate, and I'm telling her it's fine. There we go. So when was the
I
first?
want chocolate too. Shoot.
Oh, well, listen, it's kind of a going joke on my live streams that my daughter's going to knock at that door at some point. Even though I tell her every time I'm going to do a live, just give me like an hour and I'll be done. She'll always come to that door for whatever reason she can find.
Hmm.
And
It's usually chocolate, though, is the reason.
usually chocolate, ice cream. Ice cream's another big one.
Man, that sounds great. You don't get in
Chocolate, ice
the
creams are big ones. Yeah.
you don't get in the shape that I'm in without knowing exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not a little guy either, so I get it. I get it.
I've knocked on a few doors wanting chocolate ice cream.
I we don't have to knock on the doors really because her dad is I'm an ice cream addict, so there's always ice cream in the house usually. Always.
Really? What's your
Oh
favorite
yeah.
ice cream?
Rocky Road. Rocky Road, sir.
Rocky Road. I like Rocky Road. Have
Yep.
you ever tried pralines and cream?
I have not. I have not.
Man, that's a good ice cream. Have you ever tried Moose Tracks? Turner Ice
Yes.
Cream Moose Track. That's actually my favorite ice cream right there.
Yes. Moose Tracks is very good. Rocky Road, my grandmother and me growing up, we always kept Rocky Road in the house, so now it holds a little bit of a sentimental value as much as me loving it. My daughter, more of a mint chocolate chip fan, honestly.
No thanks.
Hey, those are her tastes, man.
Yeah, I ain't into the mint. My children, my daughters both like mint, chocolate, and when we get the Girl Scout cookies, I'm grabbing the tagalongs, and they want the mint chocolate cookies, and I don't like them. I don't even know what those are called, but they're
The
mint
Thin
chocolate.
Mints.
Thin
The Thin
mints.
Mints.
That's it. That's
Same thing my daughter asked for. Yes, sir. I know all too well. I get the tagalongs, the little peanut butter guys,
That's right.
and then I got to get her boxes of Thin Mints so she doesn't get mad at me.
Son of a gun, we're living the same life.
And what's crazy is my daughter is maybe, I don't know, maybe 60 pounds if she's lucky. She's not a big girl. She's a very tiny little thing. But if I give her that box of Thin Mints to bring up to her room, she'll come back down like an hour later. Like, do we have another box?
Wow.
So I gotta give her a couple at a time. Here, go ahead. You can have those. Leave the rest of them here. She's bad, man.
Yeah, I'm not a big girl either, but I can go through a couple of boxes. Tagalongs.
Oh, I can definitely finish off a box of tagalongs. They cheat you on those ones, man. There's not as many in those as there is like the Thin Mints and stuff. They cheat you.
Is there not?
No, dude, definitely not.
I don't even crack the seal on any other ones, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so you know how the tagalongs come in the rows like that, and there's maybe 4 or 5?
I think there's 2 rows.
Yeah. The Thin Mints come in long sleeves like that. Stockpiled with them.
They got three sleeves, 3 rows of Thin Mints?
2 rows, but just a lot more cookies. A whole lot more.
Well, there's going to be emails sent today then. I'll take care of it for us, Joe.
Oh, I appreciate that, sir. I do. I mean, they might listen to you. They're not going to listen to me. But they might listen to you.
They don't care. They know we're going to keep buying those cookies.
Yeah, I'm going to. I buy them from everybody who messages me saying their daughter's selling them. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I could always use more.
That's my excuse that's one of the many excuses I use not to diet that week when Girl Scout cookies are being sold. You know what I mean? I don't need a big one. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't need a big excuse.
I'm laughing because I always find one too.
Yeah, well, you don't even look that big, so I look like a hippo in this screen right now.
You're all right, brother. I mean, I'm about 235, 240, somewhere around there.
Are you?
Yeah, but I'm 6'4", so maybe that's what evens it out a little bit.
I remember when I was 6'4", 240.
I don't know if I want to ask.
No, I'm over 300 pounds right now.
I got a buddy of mine. He's always been that size, dude. Like no matter what he does, he's about 6'6". He's got a couple inches on me, 380 pounds, and he's been that size since he was about 15.
Wow.
Just no matter what he does, he just doesn't seem to lose any weight, nothing. He just stays that size.
That's a monster of a human there now.
He didn't know that
6'6".
though in high school. He thought he was a teddy bear, dude. Like literally. Nicest guy you ever met in your life.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong being nice.
Sometimes he was too nice though. At 6'6", 380, there's no way you should be getting bullied. It shouldn't happen. And
no, but you know, Shaq got bullied.
I know. I find that amazing, honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Probably by some little dudes.
It's always the little guys.
It's weird. It's weird to hear it, but I don't know. You think about how mean some children can be, man. Some children can be mean.
So you're absolutely right. It's something like as my daughter Sam grows up and like, you know, social media is much, I mean, it wasn't even a thing when I was a kid. It didn't exist. They're now using that as a way to torture kids even when they go home. So even as they get out of school for the day, if they want to keep picking on you, they'll just jump on your social media account and start posting on there, and they'll continue to bully you. And it's a problem, man. But
it's really bad. Yeah, really bad now. If a child doesn't learn to have thick skin, and I try to teach my children that. I've tried to teach them their whole life. Hey, this world ain't gonna be peaches and cream when you go out there all the time. It might be at home, but that ain't how it is out there. So you better have thick skin. Don't get upset at everything, every drop of the hat, everything that comes across your plate. You don't just start crying and all these things, because if you do, it's gonna be real tough. If you do. I see somebody asking where I'm from in the world.
Yep.
I'm in Nashville. From Memphis, born in Memphis, Tennessee, and grew up in Arkansas, and then now I live in Nashville.
How's life in Nashville? Like right now during COVID, how's life in Nashville?
Well, COVID is kind of, I don't want to say over, but you know, Nashville's open.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's open.
I'm in New Jersey. We're still locked down in New Jersey. Completely locked down, pretty much.
Yeah, some of them places up north, I don't know if they'll ever open back up until the regime change. I think. I don't know. I think that certain governors and mayors and whatnot, their goal is to stay locked down. So I don't know how they're going to survive like that. Oh.
It's been rough here, sanity wise too. Just, you know, trapped in the house all the time, not much to do, ain't much open to go do anything, even if you wanted to. But it makes me laugh. They just sent a letter home with our kids, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna reopen schools for 1.5 day a week for the rest of the year." Like 1.5 day a week, they're gonna go back now. I'm like, why? That just seems like a waste of time. But okay.
Yeah, because school's over in May, isn't it?
June for us.
Oh, still. That's still super close. What are they going to get?
I have no idea why they're doing it now or why they're doing it this way. If it's to set up for next year or whatever, I don't know, man. But this is what they're going to do. And God love my kid. She loves school. So any excuse she has to get back into a building, she's in it. She wants to go.
Yeah. Well, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Oh, she's the complete opposite of me, sir. I mean, as opposite as you can get when I was her age. I looked for excuses not to go to school. And she could have a fever. And I'm like, Sam, you got to stay home. You're sick. Well, no, I'm okay. I can go.
How old did you say she was?
She's 13.
13. Yeah, when I was 13, I was definitely looking for a million different ways to get out of school. And if I didn't find a way out, I was skipping.
I hope she doesn't see this, but that's The same thing here, sir. I mean, it was the same way. I'll never forget. She met my middle school math teacher. He became her principal. And she's like, "What was my dad like in school?" And he just looked at me and I was like, "Don't you dare. Don't you tell her the truth. You lie to that little girl right now."
You lie to her right now, sir.
Don't you tell her the truth right now. You're going to have me looking real bad up here.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't affect her anyway. She don't care if you like school or not. She's still going to like it.
She loves it. She's a social butterfly. That's why she likes her friends and she does good in class and all that stuff. So she just loves it.
So she's hated the lockdown.
Oh yeah, no, she's going nuts. She misses her friends. I mean, most of the parents that she is friends with, like the kids that she knows, we've talked. We'll let the kids get together still. We're not going to stop it. You know what I mean? They're at their age, they need that social interaction, man. Without it, they start like shutting down and turning into introverts and they don't want to go out the house at all. So she's been able to see her friends a bit, but she's hated this. Absolutely hated it. So I hope we can get past it eventually, but I'm the same as you. I don't see an ending anytime soon for Jersey.
New York or New Jersey. It don't look like it.
I don't believe we're going back to school, honestly. I know they're saying we are, but they have already said this twice now. They said it right before the new year and right after it. And both times they changed their mind and canceled it. So I'll believe it when they actually step foot into the building. That's when I'll believe it.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, where I live in Nashville, I live right outside of Nashville. It never was really. It was shut down briefly, but it was very brief, and then they opened back up even when everybody else was long before everybody else opened back up, even before Nashville, the city of Nashville,
right,
opened back up. My city, I was going in restaurants and eating just like normal. So, and there ain't been no cases of COVID here hardly at all. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
I don't have an explanation, sir.
Yeah.
They'll tell you because there's more people here and everything else, but I don't know. I don't know if there's an explanation as to why they're not doing things, but can I also say something? Besides your music, if IMDb's right, you did something else that I'm pretty jealous of. You were on an episode of Preacher?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous right now. I love that show.
Do you?
Before they rushed it to an end.
Oh, did they end it?
Oh, yeah, they rushed it to an end. Yep.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know anything about the comic book or the show or anything when I got the sides, because you just get sides, which is just a small little portion, your portion that you're going to be acting in. So if you love the show, you didn't see me in it?
I didn't see it, man. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've watched a few of them while I was drinking with my brother, so there's a good chance that I did see it and didn't even notice it. Honestly, I'll have to go back and check it out. But
there's no way you didn't see me or hear me, because I was in a bar. I was the guy over this group of guys in a bar when they were the vampire guy. I shot him. They were playing a game. Where you choose your weapon, and each weapon has odds. It's like a betting game, and then they put a bulletproof vest on, and you shoot it. And if you don't get knocked down or whatever, you make money. So the vampire, the girl, and the preacher all come in there. The preacher is acting like he's part of just sitting at the bar, and then that girl starts, trying to entice us to. Somebody said Memphis has the best barbecue. Of course they do. No question, hands down. So anyway, so then I just have a conversation with her, and then I shoot the guy. And then blood splatters, because we get this big old gun out, huge gun, huge pistol. I strapped my wrist up. This was actually a real gun too. It was pretty crazy how big that gun was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I think the episode's called Pig or something like that. I think it's the last episode. of season 2.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to. Yeah. I honestly can't remember right now. I remember them going and looking for God. I remember them then God trying to avoid them. Like I remember everything, but I can't remember that exact episode. But when I was doing some research, and I'm like, he was in pre. When was he in? I even went and asked my brother, and he's like, I showed him your picture and stuff, and he's like, I can't remember where he was. So now we're both gonna have to go back and find it. See?
Yeah, you'll definitely recognize the episode when you see it. It's in New Orleans. They're in New Orleans, and I'm in New Orleans in that when they were filming that. So, and then at the end of the episode, that girl comes back into the bar, and we have another conversation, and she wants to she put the bulletproof vest on. She wants to take a bullet, and while I'm standing there, when I point the gun up at her, I change into whatever that character is that is like the old Western guy, has the hat, real tall fella.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. He was the one. Wasn't he the one that was hunting him the whole time?
I don't know. I've never seen the show.
Okay. I think I
want
know who you're talking about. The
Yeah.
cowboy kind of looking guy.
Yep. The cowboy guy. Yep. Yep. So I changed into him in that moment. So it was actually a pretty big moment. I thought, but maybe it wasn't.
No, it was probably amazing. It was probably just when me and my brother
No,
watched while we
I'm
were
saying
drinking.
it for the show's story. I thought that was a pretty big moment that guy showed up, because it wasn't me at that point. It was him.
He had been a part of the show, but he was like a part of the show where they would always find a way to ditch him, and then he'd come back, and ditch him, and then come back. So anytime he showed up, it was a big deal, though, because he's virtually unstoppable in a lot of ways. So you got to remember, it was all based off the comics, so characters are quite exaggerated and unstoppable.
Was you a fan of the comic?
I was actually not that big of a fan of the comic. My brother loved it. He's the one who got me into the show. He loved the comic, showed me the show. I started reading the comic after the fact. So I'd actually seen the show before I read the comic.
Yeah, I had never heard of it. Didn't even know what it was when I did it.
I've been a fan since his Ice Ice video baby dropped. Yeah.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you. That was a long time ago.
I saw the video of you and Vanilla Ice backstage when you were singing with them. Yeah, what was his reaction like when he heard you play his music?
He loved it, man. There's 2 videos of us practicing in the green room before that show. That's the show where he invited me out to Miami to perform with him at the I Love the 90s tour. So he said that we were back there. He said it gave him chills, and that's an honor. Then before I came out on stage, which is also on video, he said, he introduced me, and he said that I've heard every version of Ice Ice Baby there could be, from the country version to the rock version to the punk version. This is the greatest version I ever heard. And so if the pressure wasn't already on, it was then. Talk about nervous, man. That around 15, 30,000 people out there, not in the vicinity of the show, but just not in the direct vicinity of the show, but like that. It was on a street that was lined with restaurants in that area. So there was just people, all kinds of people out there. So it was definitely nerve-wracking to hear him introduce me that way, thinking, well, I better deliver now.
So, yeah, that's no pressure. 15, 30,000 people, and the guy who is known for making the song famous is saying your version is the best version. Now hit the stage and deliver. There you go.
Yeah, that's what he said, man. Now he might have meant the best cover, but when he said it, he said the best version he heard. I'm sure he meant the best cover. I'm sure he wasn't saying it's better than his, but when he said that, that's how he worded it. So those people didn't know that.
Right. I wouldn't have known that, honestly, if I was in the crowd. I would have thought he was saying this was the best he had ever heard, period. That's the way I would have taken it.
Yeah, that was my fear, that people were taking it that way.
No pressure at all, though. None.
Yeah, none.
You also caught my little brother's eye recently. He has no idea who you are, but you, sir, posted a video. He's a huge wrestling fan, and you did a video with Braun Strowman recently.
Yeah, a while back. I reposted it recently,
Right.
but that was a while back. He was in
Okay.
town, and yeah, he took a lot of flack for that video because that was during the lockdown.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Braun worried about that stuff that much, though. He didn't seem like he did. Or
Nah,
Adam.
nah, he don't care about it. He don't care about that. But yeah, it was. He came down and he was leaving where I think Florida and headed to Minnesota or somewhere. I don't remember where, but wherever that is, up north somewhere. And he stopped in Nashville, and we did that. And I actually wrote a song that we're gonna be making a music video for whenever he gets. We're supposed to make it after WrestleMania. So
I was going to say, I'm guessing that would happen after Mania. It's his busy season right now.
yep, after Mania. You watch wrestling?
I've grown up on wrestling. My youngest brother does independent wrestling. Like, this is a wrestling household, sir. Yep.
Okay, right on, right on.
So,
I hadn't watched it in years.
what's he like behind the scenes? I'm just curious. Is he? Have you seen his character on TV?
No, I gotta be honest, I haven't. I've seen him post. Things on his Instagram,
Okay.
like promos and stuff. So he looks like
Right.
he's on TV. He's a very mean.
Yes.
Like, get these hands. I think that's his phrase, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the one that their music cues up. He comes out, destroys whoever's in front of him, and then walks away.
Yeah. It's funny how we became friends. Was I forgot what it was, but I commented on somebody else's Instagram that he follows, and because I have that little verified check mark on there,
Yeah.
then I guess that made him go click. So who is this? And so then he heard my music, and then we followed each other, and he sent me a message saying, anytime I'd like to sing sometime with you if you're down for that, yada yada yada. And I was like, man, whenever you want to sing with me, you let me know. And that went on for a while, and then finally we did it. He's very hard to get a hold of still, So like, people will say, hey, can you get Braun on my podcast or whatever? And I'm like, you realize that he ain't been on my podcast.
Yeah.
So
I can't get him on my own show. How you want me to get him on your show?
Yeah. And I'm going to redirect my attention now to only try to get them on your podcast. But that's what's funny about certain people, man. And you're like, first of all, that's not how you. It's a weird thing to throw out there for somebody if you know somebody has done something with somebody, and then you reach out to that person and go, hey, I know you know that person. Can you get that person on to do something for me? It's just weird. It feels weird when people ask me that. They do that with Vanilla Ice all the time. It always feels weird, man. I'm always nice about it, but I'm just like, nah, I don't. We're not friends like that. I'm not his manager, so I can't tell Vanilla Ice to do your thing or that thing. Same with Braun or anybody.
And we're not talking about people who know you either, right? We're just talking about random individuals who reach out. Hey, I don't know who you never met me. But yeah, can you get Vanilla Ice to come do my podcast?
That's exactly what it is. How weird is that, right?
Yeah, you gotta love people, man.
They don't even, some of these people don't even say, hey, I'm a big fan of your music. I love what you do. I've seen that, whatever, boom, boom, boom. I also know that you're friends with Braun Strowman or Vanilla Ice or whoever. Can you see if they'd be interested in doing something, whatever, show or whatever for me? They don't even do it that way. They just go, hey, I see you're friends with Braun. See if he'll do this. Like, almost like a command. I'm like, I'm not Braun's keeper. So reach out to him. Send him a message. because you're talking
Right.
to the wrong
See if he
person.
answers.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like the fact that I answer every message I get and every comment, or just about every comment. Sometimes it's like I see why people don't, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I always will. But I see why a lot of, because I'm not even famous. I can only imagine people like Braun and people that are actually famous, what kind of messages they get. So it's hard to answer messages when all of them are something like that.
I've often wondered how often celebrities, if you will, get messages from people asking them for money. Like, how often does that happen? Which is weird. I don't know why anybody would just ask a random person for money, but I'm almost positive it happens to them quite often.
Yeah, it happens to them a lot because it happens to me. So it
Wow,
happens.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sure enough.
we're talking about people you've never spoken to before. The first things out of their mouth is, "Hey, you want to send me some money?"
Well, yeah, a lot of times it's people I've never spoken to, but sometimes it's people I have spoken to. But it's not just the first word out of their mouth is never, "Hey, send me money." It's usually they say their whole story and then they ask for money. And then, to be honest, sometimes it's legit. Like they really
Right.
are at their last rope, and they're like, "Man, I don't know. I'm just taking a shot in the dark." Sometimes I think God sends them to me, and I'm okay with that. But sometimes I think it's scammers,
Right. Right.
and I can kind of tell the difference. So you can kind of tell after you say a few things to them if they legit know who you are and things like that.
Well, I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know, but and you're right. I know there's probably more than a few people who have done it, and it's because they're at their end of their rope and they don't know what else to do at that point, and they are just taking that last shot. And I think it speaks a lot of you, sir, that you even answer them. So it says a lot about your character as a man that you even answer. So
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to get an attaboy or get praise from men or nothing. I just know anytime I see something like that, because we're talking about during COVID time, so everybody's humbled. Everybody's been humbled right now. So I know that if I was desperate enough to send you, who I don't really know, right?
right,
But say we've never spoken even, but you were somebody that I had listened to, and I was a fan of. If I was desperate enough to send you that to strip off all kinds of pride and
right,
say,
yeah,
"Hey, man, I can't feed my daughter, man. Like, can you help me in any way? Is there anything you can do?" I just put myself in those shoes. I'd be like, "Man, that's a hard thing to do. If it's true, if it's a true man that is actually trying to do that, then that's hard. That's a tough thing to deal with." So I try to do that with anything. Try to put myself in their shoes. That's what I live by the Bible, man. So Jesus said, "Breathe for others as I breathe for you." That's what love is. Breathing for other humans. It's the only reason we're here, to breathe for each other.
yes, sir.
Yep.
Uh, no, man, I think we need more. And you're right. Obviously, there's scammers out there, right? But we need more people out there who will listen to others. And I think sometimes, even if you're not in a position to financially help someone, sometimes even if you just answer back and talk to them, you can help them. You know,
Right.
sometimes just listening to somebody and letting them vent out their frustrations, and it'll help them clear their head and think about, okay, what's the next thing I need to do from here. And I mean, you don't have to be rich to help, man. There's always a
No.
way to try and help and give back and do whatever you can, and that's what I try to do over here too. So
If you don't help when you're poor or when you're middle class or whatever you're at, whatever level you're at, you won't help when you're rich either. The that that type of greed only grows. It don't shrink with money. getting more money.
Dragon says he's got to go, but Marty, keep rocking and good convo. All right, Dragon, thank you, man. Thanks for coming in.
All right, brother.
I
Thank you,
know
Dragon.
some guys right now, man, you're just getting home from work or whatever. I appreciate anybody who's stopping in to hang out with us for even a few minutes, man. It means a lot to me, guys. Thank you. So let's get back to your musical journey here. What has been your favorite experience so far? I know you say you're not famous. Let's say what, semi-famous? That better with you?
I guess. Yeah. I guess that's what it is. I'm semi-famous. I don't know. I don't know if that's a word or not, but sure.
So what's been your favorite experience so far during the whole thing? You know, you had the show, you played with Vanilla Ice backstage. What's been your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing that's happened since I started saying, I'm going to go after music full time, it really didn't happen after I'd already had some success. It happened before. So I met BB King and he just embraced me without knowing me. He just embraced me and held my hand and made me sign my first album to him and things like that. And it
Wow.
was I didn't even have any fans, and BB King did all that and signed my guitar. He wasn't supposed to sign it, but he signed it. He was only supposed to sign Gibson guitars. He signed my Martin. So that night, that whole night was just incredible, man. And I've told that story a lot in detail. It's a long story, but it's an incredible story. So if anybody hadn't heard that, it's out there. Like, it's on my podcast and who knows how many others. But that was probably the times like that when I was about to give up, and people like BB King and Charlie Daniels. I gave Charlie Daniels my first album, and he tweeted me back in the day when like I said, I had no fans, and he tweeted and said, "Listen to your music, it rocks." And things like that were bigger than really anything else other than all the people, the fans that
Right.
that comment and support. That's what means the most right there. Because I don't look at them as just numbers. I look at them as actual human beings, each one of them. Every number, every view. Billy said, "I got to ask, what beard companies do you use and favorite scent profile?" I don't even actually use. For years, I was sponsored by Beardalizer, but even then, I really, as you can probably tell by my beard, I really am not a big beard oil guy. To be honest with you, I like my beard dry more than shiny, I guess. So I just use. I use shampoo and conditioner, but I don't really use oil a whole lot unless I'm doing maybe an album shoot or something like that. I'll put some oil in it. But we actually we've been trying to launch. I've been trying to launch my own beard brand for a long time. Still,
Really?
yeah, but I don't
Very
want to do
cool.
it. I don't want to do it and have to do all of it myself. So I've been waiting to see. I'll get a partner in, and then something will happen, and it'll fizzle, and then they'll never. So I'm just trying to wait to get the right guy or gal in. It could be a gal too. She could help me out. It don't have to be a guy.
Some of the best products I've used have been made by women, man.
Yeah.
Like some of the best beard products I've used have been made by women owners. They know
They
their
know.
thing.
Yeah, they know a lot better than we do as far as what's going to feel nice and things like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's it? You were just talking about your fans and stuff. What was it like when you started getting noticed for the first time?
You mean online?
Online or even out in public if it happened? You know, if like somebody just came up to you and said, "Hey, man, we love your stuff," you know.
Every time it happens out in public, it's very there's a sense of pride that swells up, and you don't want that to happen too much, but and gratefulness, you want that to happen a lot, and
Right.
that both of those things happen at the same time. You start thinking, man, because everybody comes up to me, I'm whatever they need from whatever they want, I'll give it to them. They if they're a fan of mine, they recognize me outside the social media, then I'll take a picture with them, I'll talk to them, pray with them, whatever they need, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Because that's a real, like the other day I was driving my truck, and my truck, I don't drive it often, but my truck actually has my big, like this logo right here is on the real big
Okay.
on the side of my truck, and it says Marty Ray Project on the back, stuff like that. And so I'm driving, helping my buddy move something, and somebody pulls up beside me, and they get right in front of me, and they stick their head out the window, and they look back, and they're like that. And so I'm waving at them and telling them I love them, you know. And if you're not careful, you could get a big head, and at some point, if you're in a restaurant or something and somebody comes up to you, you could be a real idiot about it. You know what I mean? Now I ain't gonna say people rush me and things like that, because that don't happen. But it's every now and then somebody will notice me. They'll know who I am, and so I just stay grateful that somebody knows who I am at all out there in the world. But I'm sure if somebody was somebody, like I said, somebody that's actually famous, like Braun Strowman, if he goes into a restaurant, he probably gets. I mean, also he's 6'9",
Yeah.
so he's not hard to. He's not a. He can't miss the guy. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that he gets rushed. You know, and it could probably be overwhelming if you're sitting down to eat with your family, and people are just nonstop over there. But right now, I've never had that problem. So I really hope I never do. I don't want to not be able to go to a restaurant. That's somebody like Ludacris asked me I was doing a show one time, and Ludacris asked, or actually it was Flo Rida that asked me, he said, "You being from Memphis, do you feel like you have big shoes to fill and that Elvis is from there?" And I said, "I ain't trying to be as big as Elvis." And then Ludacris was like, if you ain't trying to be as big as Elvis, what are you trying to do? I said, well, Elvis couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
Not in the
Right.
whole world. He couldn't go. There was not a place that Elvis Presley could hide ever.
No, he was more
Like,
recognizable than the president at the time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
it couldn't happen. I said, I definitely do not want that life at all. And he said, well, where do you see yourself? If you don't want to be as big as Elvis, where you want to be? I said, right below him. I want to have a place to hide. You know what I mean?
right.
I want to be able to. I would love to. I think it'd be super cool to be like Darius Rucker. You know who that is?
I believe so.
Hootie and the
I just kind of,
Blowfish.
yes. Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
You see how you knew who Elvis was, but you didn't know Darius Rucker by name. See,
Yes.
that's what I want, because Darius Rucker lives in South Carolina, and in the town he lives in, he walks around and he goes and eats. Nobody really bothers him, so they know who he is, but they don't really bother him. So it's kind of what I would like to happen, if
The
it's
guys are
possible.
yelling at me now for not knowing who Hootie was.
Yeah, Hootie.
Yeah. They're all yelling at me now for not knowing. I got it, guys. I know. No.
Uh-oh, you had it now.
I know what you mean, though. I mean, you still want to be able to go and do your thing, but it would be nice to make your full time, like make the living with music, do your music thing, but not have to worry about, okay, I want to take my family out to eat. Are we actually going to be able to sit down and enjoy this meal or are we going to be mobbed the entire time nonstop?
Right. And that happens with people that are huge, you know. So we'll see.
You
We'll
know,
see where God takes me.
God love my brother, one of my brothers. One of his buddies does the, I don't even know how to say this the right way. He does the paparazzi thing. So he'll
Really?
get tips. He'll get tips from people in New York that certain celebrities are in the area. And
Oh
then
man.
he'll take my brother and they'll go sit outside the back of a restaurant waiting for the person to come out. And then he goes running up to him with a bunch of pictures and books and sign this, sign that, sign this. I'm like, dude, if I was them, I would have thrown your marker at you by now. I was, was like,
Yeah, man. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't handle that well. Like that those people that do that, because you know what they're doing. They're just taking it and selling it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's what they're doing. So if I knew that, if it was a fan, I'm gonna sign whatever you want. But if I was a huge star or athlete or something, and I knew what they were doing, they're just in there trying to get an autograph on everything so they can eBay it or whatever. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna sign it. I don't know why. That just taints it a little bit.
Liam, you're right. It is ruled. It should be a known thing that if a family's sitting there, even if they're famous, that they should be left alone. But you'd be surprised how often that rule doesn't get acknowledged, honestly, in the world.
Well, in certain cities, it never gets acknowledged.
But so
Oh, I think
if
I
you had,
lost you. Had a phone call.
oh, did I lose
Must.
you?
No, I still heard you. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Okay, all right. If you had, let's say like somebody called you up tomorrow, right, and they said, I don't know, I'm gonna get crazy, right? We got a time machine, past, present, future. I can give you 3 artists that you can work with from anywhere you want. Who would be your top 3 guys to do some kind of, I don't know, collaboration with, if you will?
B.B. King, Elvis Presley, and Mahalia Jackson. Yep.
Elvis is always going to be on that list, isn't he?
Well, Elvis is on the list just because of Memphis, you know, and the stature to where he got to. That would have been very beneficial for my career.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you know what I mean. I still wouldn't. That wouldn't have got me as big as him. But thank you, Reno, for being a fan. That wouldn't have got me as big as him, but it would have helped for years.
yeah.
Doing something with Elvis would still be helping to this day.
My mom was, oh man, my mom loved the man, loved him so much, even to the point where my mom actually lost her hearing when I was a kid. She still collected everything of his, every album she could, even though she couldn't listen. I just think she loved him. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't
there was
matter
a
if she could hear him or not.
there was a lot of women that loved him for sure. Him, not his music.
Oh, I mean, she would listen to his music back when she could, but she just loved him for him, I think, period. And I still think to this day, I defy anybody to name an artist that is more recognizable than him at this point.
I don't think there is one. I still don't think there's still anybody that. I don't think there's anybody that's as big or ever will be as big as Elvis Presley was. I don't think
Mm,
so.
I think they could re-release one of his albums right now and say it's a remastered work, whatever, and it would still, at the very minimum, be a gold hit almost instantly.
Well, yeah, it would definitely go platinum, no
I mean,
question
yeah, that's
about
what
it.
I mean. Like it would,
Yeah,
and you're talking
just
about
because of Elvis fans alone.
right, and you're talking about old songs just being remastered, but just
I,
because of who he is, his fan base, it's gonna sell.
I think they've done that several times actually already.
They probably have.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I'm sure they
remastered
have.
Elvis albums out there.
I'm related to Elvis, but I sure don't get those looks. Really? Hmm.
How are you related?
Yeah, I'm curious now there, Beanie. Closest would have been Michael Jackson.
Yeah, He
Yeah,
was
I mean,
close, but he wasn't. It wasn't like Elvis, but yeah, he was close.
it was definitely close, but
But
Elvis still.
both of them actually loved their fans the same. Like Michael Jackson loved his fans, and so did Elvis.
I gotta one day when obviously not at the moment, but when I get a chance, I'm gonna send you a video. My nephew, my youngest nephew, he's 3 years old. They'll put on Michael Jackson on what is that, Siri or whatever it is, right? And he will sit there like to Bad or Thriller, and he'll start trying to do Mike's moves. Like he really gets into it, and like he goes for it, man. And it's pretty cool to
Nice,
see, man.
right on. Send it to me.
Oh, definitely will, man. I definitely will. Um, all right, I have a thing that I do on here, right, where I just fire off a bunch of what I call random questions, and you just answer them with the first thing that pops into your head. You good with that, real quick?
Sure.
All right, I just got a bunch of them here. So, fish or steak?
Pie. You know what's funny is I had already told myself no matter what he asked me, I'm saying pie. And then you asked fish or steak. Is that what you asked?
Yep.
And it actually kind of went with that.
Yeah, no, I did. That worked pretty good.
No, but fish or steak, I'm probably gonna go with steak.
Okay.
I
I mean,
fish,
I
though.
would too. I like my fish though, man. Yeah, like that would
Yeah.
be rough. I'm sorry, sir. How old are you?
38.
Okay, so you're right around my age, so this question should go well for you. GI Joe or Ninja Turtle?
Man, that's tough, dude.
Yeah, see,
I had, I
I
had,
bring heavy ones.
I had both of those toys. All
Yes,
those.
sir.
I had both those toys and was a huge fan of both of those shows. If you made me pick, I would say TMNT.
But it's a rough one. That's a rough one.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to live without either one when I was growing up.
Are you a football or a baseball fan, sir? And you can say neither if you're not a sports fan.
I used to be a football fan, big time football fan. Growing up, I was. Can you still hear me?
Now I can. You just came back. You cut out for a second, but you just came back.
These phone calls, man.
It's all right, man.
Growing up, I was a big baseball and football fan, but I was a big Cardinals fan and a big Cowboys fan. Then that kind of changed when I got a little older to where I was just a football fan of the Cowboys. And now I don't really watch sports at all, to be honest with you.
If you're going to be a Cowboys fan, you may as well not watch. No offense, sir. I'm a Giants fan. Sorry.
Well, let me tell you, who's got more Super Bowls?
I think we're tied right now, actually.
Nuh-uh. Y'all got 5? I mean 4?
Okay, we're one behind. We got 4. You got 4, right?
Let's see. We got 2 in the 70s, and we got 5. 2 in the
5,
70s
right.
and 3 in the 90s, I believe.
Right, so we're one behind you guys right now. One behind you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that y'all even had more than one.
86, 90, 2007, 2011.
I rooted for the Giants one time when they played the Patriots. When the guy caught the ball on his head like this right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was rooting for the Giants.
Probably the greatest play in Giants history. And that was like a 3rd string, 4th string receiver. He shouldn't have done that, but hey, it is what it is.
That got him a monster contract, and it also revealed that he wasn't worth the contract as far as
really
athleticism
quick
goes. Yeah.
Very quickly it revealed that. But, I mean, hey, they were probably going to pay him just because of the moment anyways. Yeah, you got to treat guys like that right, at least for a minute, and they did. So, I knew you were a Cowboys fan, actually, though, because I saw you posting when you sung to Michael Irvin.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
How did that happen? Did you just, randomly run into him, or?
No, I was at a show. I was singing at that event there, and Michael Irvin was there. Mel Gibson was there. Michael Douglas was there. There was a lot of big time heavy hitters there. Dr. Phil was there, and back Michael Irvin was walking through, and I said, "Man, I am a massive fan of yours. Like I'm a massive when I was a Cowboys fan my whole life, and during that was the best days to me was during the '90s when he played him and Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Rockab Ismail and all those people. Like
Yeah.
that was the best back then. And so we were just having a conversation, and then something led to him making an Instagram story, and I was singing in it. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll sing in that story."
Yes.
Do you have soda, kind sir?
What did I say?
Chocolate ice cream.
Kind sir, do you have soda? You do have soda, kind sir.
Where are you going?
To have chicken.
Okay.
Ryan's saying hi.
You can say hi. Go ahead.
Hi.
You came in to interrupt us.
Ryan's saying hi.
Hi. All right, go. Let me finish my show. I'll be down for dinner in a little while.
At least she's nice about it, kind sir.
Oh, yeah, she is. I mean, as long as she gets what she wants, then she's
She's
sweet as can be. And even when she doesn't, she's incredibly nice. I just get this weird little eye as she walks away of like, man, he just said no to me. And she goes away. And then she'll come back and she'll go, are you sure I can't have that?
Wow. That's
she just
nice.
doesn't give up that easy. That's all.
Well, you ain't raising no quitters.
No. And I'm lucky, man. She's a good kid. She's been through a lot with things that have gone on in our life, and I have a genetic condition with my family, a disability that I've had to deal with. So she's seen a lot of things already in life, but she just always keeps a smile on her face and keeps moving forward like nothing's happened. So
Right on.
she's a great kid, man. I'm lucky.
Yes, sir. Blessed.
Again, you said you were close to my age, so take away the cinematics here, right? Who wins in a real fight? Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
In a real fight?
Yeah, real fight, man.
I don't know if either one of them can really fight in real life or not, but I would probably say Arnold.
Size, too big.
Yeah, I think he. I don't know, but I mean, just because somebody's big don't mean that they're gonna win. But I don't know. I just when I look at, I don't know if either one of them can actually fight. Is what I'm saying. I don't.
Right.
But if I was gonna pick somebody, I would go for size, just because that's what the human nature does.
Are you a boxing fan at all, sir?
Oh yeah, I used to be a big boxing fan. Vander Holyfield and Mike Tyson.
Here's one for you then. Who wins, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
And they're both in prime?
Both in their prime, yes, sir.
I think Muhammad Ali. I think that's proven because Vander Holyfield fought a lot like Muhammad Ali, and he beat Tyson both times. Tyson couldn't do anything.
Man, it's a tough one, though, because Mike, in his prime, that point, he hit so hard, but when Ali was at his best, I just think he was the greatest ever, honestly. So
I don't know if he's the greatest ever. In my eyes, I don't think he was the greatest ever, truly. I know everybody else does. But as far as the style of fighting of Muhammad Ali was like Vander Holyfield. So Mike Tyson didn't do well with those people at all, with those type of fighters.
Okay.
Like that. So I'm saying that, in my opinion, if Muhammad Ali could have probably beat Mike Tyson even not in his prime. You know what I mean? Because
the rope-a-dope.
Yeah, he didn't get hit. Like if he was able to not get hit, he did get hit. But I'm saying now, of course, if everybody knows if Tyson could get that uppercut on you or something, then it was tough. So I mean, there's always a chance, but I just saw where Tyson just ran over people, and then the minute that he got a scientific type fighter like Evander Holyfield, couldn't do nothing. It looked way different.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. If you could, any place you can visit, sir, like, bucket list type thing, what's one place you'd like to visit?
Probably Jerusalem.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
Okay.
it's really the only place I ever want to go outside the U.S. I love the United States. So
There you go.
I ain't trying to leave.
I just want to go to Italy. That's all I want out of life. I'm
Are you
Italian.
Italian?
I just want to go to Italy. Yeah, that's all I want. That's it.
There's been times when I said I'd love to go to Italy and experience, because I love Italian food. It's one of my favorites. So I'd love to experience the real Italian food, but I'm scared I probably wouldn't like it.
It's very different. If you're used to, especially like where I'm from, North Jersey Italian, American Italian food, to actual overseas, they're a lot heavier in their seafoods and things of that nature. It's different. It's
Yeah,
very different.
it's like Mexican food. I used to always say, man, I want to go to Mexico and get some authentic Mexican food. Well, I had a friend one time, and his mom was literally from Mexico, and she made authentic Mexican food, and I didn't like it. So I was like, I don't like this, man. This ain't Mexican food to me. So I'm a Tex-Mex guy. I like fake Mexican food, I guess.
That's all right, man. It happens. All right, I might know the answer to this one given on answers you've already given me, but any historical figure, and again, I'm talking like anything, anywhere, anytime that you could hang out with for a day, who would you pick?
Well, I think you already know Jesus.
Elvis. Oh,
No,
I was going to say
Jesus.
Elvis. I was going to say
No.
Elvis. But
No,
Jesus, yeah,
if I
okay.
could pick anybody, I would definitely go walk with Jesus. That'd be super cool.
Elvis close second.
Elvis a long, long second.
Okay, but he is second.
He probably would be second. Yeah. Actually, I take that back. If I could go hang out with anybody, it'd probably be B.B. King.
Okay, there you go.
Because of the experience we had. After the experience I had with him, I never met him again, never saw him again, never talked to him again. So it would have been awesome to have gotten to actually hang out with him for a day after that, because there was a lot of questions I would have liked to have asked. A lot
What kind of
questions.
Mexican food?
What kind of Mexican food? Is that what somebody asked?
Yep.
What does that mean? What kind of Mexican food?
It means what kind do you like, basically. Is there anything specific that you liked that you thought you were going to like from when it was made for you?
Oh, you talking about what kind of Mexican food did she make? Yeah. It was some tamales, which I like tamales. But it was different. It was a tamale, and then there was a bunch of other things that she had made. I tried a smorgasbord of things.
Right.
And the only thing I could pronounce or remember is a tamale. But my grandpa used to make, rabbit and squirrel tamale.
Give it a second. It usually comes back in a second after he gets a phone call.
Check.
There you go. You're back.
Okay.
Yep.
There we are, man. They should really figure out some way to make it where you can't get phone calls while you do this. But anyway, I was saying there was a smorgasbord of different things that she had made. The only thing that I really knew what it was the tamale. Because my grandpa used to make, we've always eaten tamales. I didn't, for a long time, I didn't know that was a Mexican thing. Maybe it ain't, but it might be an American Texas thing or whatever. But my grandpa used to make rabbit and squirrel tamales all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So maybe somebody knows. Is a tamale an actual Mexican food, or did she just throw that in?
I don't know. I'm Italian here. We do mostly Italian foods. What
about Italians? In Italy, I heard in Italy they don't call the spaghetti sauce. They call it gravy.
Man, that's a big dispute here in my area in New Jersey. Half of us call it gravy, half of us call it sauce. Then there's people like me. To me, it's gravy when it has like the meatballs and the sausage and all that stuff in it. That's gravy. If you just make it with no meat in it, then that's sauce. They're just two different animals to me.
You know what I call it? I call it sauce. A good sauce.
There you go.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
as long as you eat it, call it whatever you want. It's up to you.
I don't have a problem eating it.
And then this is going to sound weird if you don't follow our little world here, but there's two huge questions in our little community that everybody wants to know where people stand on this. The first one is, sir, how do you like your steak cooked? Do you like it medium well, or do you like it well done or rare?
Medium.
Okay. I mean, listen, my dad ruined me on rare foods for the rest of my life. He used to tell guys, listen, just take my steak, walk it through a hot room, slap it on the butt, and bring it out here to me, and I'll be happy.
No,
And
sir.
there was times when he cut into it that I swear to God, it was talking. It was mooing back to him.
Yeah,
It was disturbing.
I can't do that. They even have a new way that they cook it called blue. It's not even rare. It's rarer than rare. It's called blue.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's almost like they just break it out the freezer and bring it to you. But I think it's like and they bring it out. That's kind of how it goes. But no,
And
medium is for me.
the other one, which again, this is going to sound weird, but does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm not.
sir.
I'm going to have to disagree with you here, sir.
Yes,
it does
sir.
not.
My favorite pizza is a pineapple and ham
Oh,
pizza.
no.
That's my favorite pizza.
That's all right. I still like the music.
I asked that same question on my podcast to people, right? Because at the beginning of every podcast, we do a what's called a Fast Five.
Okay.
And I always have random questions just like you did on this, but I do it at the beginning. And that's one of the questions I throw in there every now and then. Pineapple on pizza or no? And it always is yes.
Here they go. Here's the pineapple supporters come. There you go, Marty.
Here's what I don't understand. When did this become a problem? Because I could care less if you like pineapple on pizza. But some people that don't like it on there, they say it don't belong. When did it become a debate at all? Like, I've been eating it that way my whole life.
I don't know when it actually became the debate, but it became a thing, and now I'm on the opposite side here. So it's just like the guys in here love to give me a hard time about it, but they all know I don't like pineapple, period. So that's...
Yeah, well, that's a problem. Have you ever tried it on pizza?
I have never gone anywhere near it on pizza because it's just not okay.
You should try one bite of pineapple and ham pizza. It's Hawaii.
Nope.
That's the way they do it in Hawaii.
Listen,
you gotta,
if you ever got time to kill, you got to go back on my channel. You ever get a chance and watch what's called the Pineapple Challenge, where they dared me to eat a whole can of pineapples, and I literally almost threw up on a live stream to entertain the people that were watching.
Because of pineapples?
Yeah, I can't stand it, dude. I really can't stand. I can't. Nope. Everything about it is just.
Do you like?
It's
fruit?
just. I like fruit. Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
Pineapples is just one of those things. Pineapple and coconut, just not okay to me.
Hey, look, I don't get mad. I ain't mad about it. You don't like pineapples. You don't like pineapples. Like, but I just don't understand how it became the pineapple pizza. Same thing with Nickelback, right? You heard the thing on Nickelback. Everybody talks about how Nickelback is the worst band ever or whatever.
Yeah, you either love them or hate them, basically.
When did this become a thing? This is a multi-million dollar selling band, and they sell out stadiums still. And I don't understand that. That's weird to me. I don't know about you, but when this is how you remind me, when that came out, I think everybody in the world had that album.
I'm not going to sit here and profess I'm their biggest fan on the planet, but I do have quite a few of their songs in my playlist and such like that. So I don't get it either. Exactly. I don't know where that started or why. I think Family Guy's to blame for that one somehow, because they take a lot of shots at Nickelback on that show.
There it is. Seth,
I think it originated there.
Yeah, Seth, whatever. He hates Nickelback. He had a bad experience with them.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe something there, but yeah, I think that's where that originated, sir. Because I don't get it. I like quite a few of their songs personally. I'm not their biggest fan. I won't say I am, but I do enjoy quite a few of their songs.
But I'm not their biggest. I'm not their biggest fan or even really a fan. They got songs that I like. That's kind of how it is. So I don't get the hate.
You know what? Sometimes I think these things all just start off in ways that can't be explained. Like you said, the pineapple on pizza thing. I don't like it. Some people do, but it's turned into like now it's like an actual like war, and the line is drawn. You're either on this side or that side.
Well, it's a war I ain't in. I'll eat it and then let everybody else fight about it. I just like, hey, I like pineapple on pizza. It's my favorite pizza.
All right, sir. One last thing real quick, and then we're going to get ready to wrap this up because my family's telling me, hey, your food's getting cold, Joe. I know. Relax. I know what time it is. What does the future look like for you, sir? Any big plans coming up? Anything you can tell us about? I know you have your own podcast where you get into a lot of this stuff, but... Oh, never mind. His internet just lost on us there. So I don't know if we lost him or what. He was having some problems with his internet there at the end. And if we did lose him, it happens, man. If he can come back, I'll wait a few minutes here to see if we can get him back in here. But it was pretty cool having him on, period. Like, that, I really like the man. I like what he does. I like his music. If you haven't actually, like, if you're one of the guys who's only heard the All My Friends Are Bearded parody, go actually search him up, man. Go look up some of his music on YouTube Music or Google Play or whatever you might have, and check it out. He's got some really cool stuff. He's got some great songs. Mistakes, Miss You Like Crazy, Outlaw, all amazing tracks, man. All amazing tracks. But he was having some issues with the internet there at the end. I appreciate it, Billy, man. I tried. We had a little miscommunication with our timing setup. He got confused because I kept posting 5:30, and technically my 6:30 is his 5:30, and it was just a bit of a miscommunication. It wasn't either one of our faults, really, just a miscommunication on that one. So as soon as I got a hold of him, he jumped right in here. He was amazing. Really cool of him to do it, period. Like, I mean, who am I? I'm some guy with 600 subscribers on YouTube. You know what I mean? All my friends are bearded right now. But it looks like maybe his internet crapped out or maybe even his phone died. But either way, guys, I am going to get ready to wrap this up. I'm giving him just a couple minutes here, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it back in. So hopefully, if he sees this, Marty, thank you, man, very much for coming on, for hanging out with us. And thank you to all you guys, man. I know this is a weird time slot, 5:30. People are just getting out of work. People are just getting home. People are just sitting down to eat dinner. And yet you guys have been jumping in and out all night long, hanging out with me. You guys are awesome as always. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this up, man. I don't know if his internet was starting to get a little shaky there at the end. So I don't know if it just failed on him. So guys, thank you. And to the Marty Ray Project, thank you very much, sir, for coming on the live with me. And you guys know how it ends out there, man. Stay safe, stay bearded, be good to each other, take care of each other. New video coming out on Thursday. And don't forget, May 16th, the fundraiser is on for the Children's Tumor Foundation. I'll see you guys soon, man. Be safe out there.